Howdy folks, TJ here. SAM Coupe, one of the coolest 8-bit computers I own. It is very unique. It is quite rare in the United States. Even overseas, there's probably not tons of people that actually have and use them. There's, of course, a very vibrant SAM Facebook group that talks about SAM Coupe. But, you just see your average amount of videos on the YouTubes and such. And I'm sure there's some folks that enjoy them, but I want to make sure that I enjoy mine more this year. So I finally brought it out, did a little fixing. You've watched some of my YouTube videos lately. I replaced the floppy drive. Unfortunately, like any old computer, you start running into other issues along the way. So I had purchased some upgrades, and one of them was the ZX Executor, which lets you run Sinclair cartridges on your SAM Coupe. And when I did it, I was getting an error. I was getting weird graphic anomalies and finding out that maybe my 256 megabyte RAM upgrade is a little crusty. So I have one on its way, so I don't know if that will fix my problem later. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about this behemoth of a power supply that the SAM Coupe came with. Now, this is not as bad as a ColecoVision Atom, where you need not a laser jet, but a, daisy wheel printer to power the computer. And that thing is herkin. And that's one of the reasons why finding desk arena, desk space to play with it. I did buy quite expensive, $120 some odd power supply that lets you put that printer aside and use the Atom. But the Atom itself is herkin. It's even bigger than the SAM Coupe. So I haven't found that right spot here at my home to get the Atom, which is a really cool and quite powerful computer, which I hope to use more in the future. But again, where am I going with this? SAM Coupe, I was on a tangent because there's some computers out there that take much bigger power supplies than this. Oh, another tangent. How about that Amstrad? I don't have any Amstrad, but I think there's one that you have to have a monitor and computer together to complete that link. How dorky. But they probably did that, so when one of them fails, you have to, you're down without a computer for a while, and you're going to buy a whole nother monitor or whatever. Okay, let's talk about the SAM a little bit more in depth. So the power supply, which is cool looking, it is kind of sleek, but it is herkin. Here's my hand. And out of the back of this thing is lots of cables, which I've made prettier by putting some rubber bands around things. But there's one that goes into your power source. And if you're in the United States, you're going, TJ, that's some funky European plug. Well, true. So that's big and long. And then there's this one. This is a connector that goes into the back of the SAM Coupe. So that's another cable. And then there's an RF type of lead that I guess allowed you to connect it up to a TV. It must have been an afterthought. Like, okay, well, there's plenty of monitor port stuff on here, like a SCART connector and stuff. Well, let's add a RF lead to this. It just makes it crazy to put. You can see I've got two. I've got one over there, and I just wanted to show you this thing up close. It is herkin. It is big. I luckily own two. I purchased one as a backup, and plus mine was making a humming noise, so I thought, get another one, because I want to be able to eventually use my SAM Coupe more. So what are you looking at? A desk that's 3/4 taken up by a SAM Coupe, a SAM Coupe power supply, and in the United States, I need to do something with that 220, bringing it down to 110, which is what this cool UMI adapter is. So I'm able to power everything, but look at that. It's taking up everything on my desk. I needed a solution. So back when I originally purchased a SAM, I'm not sure if these were not available then. Something says no, because I think I would have purchased one right away. But there is now, from that to this, your basic little run-of-the-mill. This one's capable 110 or 220 volt, and this is just the other end of the power cord that connects into here and connects to electrical. So I can now do away with this, which is heavy and bulky. that, which is heavy and bulky, move those off into the other room, shift my SAM Coupe over to free up a little middle space so I have some working room, and hide this behind the monitor. So let's just show you this a little bit more. I purchased this from a gentleman in the SAM Coupe Facebook group, and one end is your this has got a lot of bling. Look at that chrome. It is quite industrial looking. This end will plug into the back of the SAM Coupe. And then this end, he did put a little sticker on it. It says SAM Coupe power supply. So that's cool. So there's that. And then this is just the other end of the cable. He sold cables for over there. I'll just say that. And then for the United States. So here's the United States cable. It's not cheap, but it's not super expensive at the same time. And I like supporting people that are making things for the SAM Coupe. Along with this, I did purchase something else, but I'll cover that at a later time in the video. But one of the problems with the SAM Coupe is if you have a floppy disk on when you, I think, either reset or turn on and off the computer, it can get corrupted. And they found that a issue on the motherboard would need to be corrected to fix that. Dan is the gentleman, the person I purchased this power supply from, makes a little PC board that can plug in here, but it's more than just plug in. It's slice and dice, soldering, and I'm not up there yet. So I did buy one since I had a package coming. Shipping is not cheap. And it's a little PC board that will go in here eventually that's supposed to alleviate that problem. For now, I'll just make sure I don't have a floppy in here when I'm turning on or off or resetting the computer, so I don't screw things up. But needless to say, today is about this power supply. Look, I can now do this instead of that. So I'm going to turn off this camera. I want to make sure this works. I'll put that other stuff in a box in the other room. We'll connect this up, shift it around. I mean, just look at all the cables. This is the long cable that goes to this. Then I have all the cables from that jangling here. It's a big mess, and I need to clean that up. So we're going to do a little cleaning. We'll come back and turn on and then boot up the SAM Coupe, make sure this little power supply works. And if all goes well, I'm now ready to rock and roll, and I'm hoping, I don't think my other order shipped. I did order some stuff from Colin at SAM Coupe. I think he was got COVID or cold or something. My order I don't think is shipped yet. I placed it was it 2.5 weeks ago, something like that. So hopefully it ships soon, because I did buy a 256K memory module in case mine is truly bad. It tests okay, but then it doesn't test okay, and I'm getting anomalies with extensions on the back, so who knows. Anyway, let's connect this all up and come back, make sure it boots, and then just join the SAM Coupe Facebook group. If you're considering buying a SAM or own a SAM and still rocking that big old power supply, well, why not get one of these little guys, and you can hide it behind your monitor, and you don't need that behemoth taking up a lot of real estate on your desk. It was fine for the time, but I'm limited on space, and I need to clean things up, and I want to enjoy my SAM Coupe, which means I need a little elbow room. So hold tight. Well, isn't this a little bit cleaner? Look at that. I now have space here. I have space here. I could even push this over a little bit if I wanted. Heck, I even have room. Let me go over here and grab it. I had to earlier move my keyboard away from my Aquarius computer because I just had no room, no space. So I have an extension connected to my SAM Coupe, a little extender board, from the one on the back to 3, and I've got my HDMI plugged into power. Now, if all goes well, I've just plugged the one power cord in here. I've hidden the cabling behind the TV. We're going to turn this on and see if it works. Let's go ahead. Where's the power button? There it is. 3, 2. Do I have everything connected right? 1. Video flickering. Return key. There's the basic prompt. She is powered. I'm going to leave it powered on for a few minutes. I don't like turning on something brand new and turning it right off. We're going to let it set, but look at that. I've got room now. So now, as a side test, I'm not going to do it for this video, but just in case my 256 memory module with that ZX executor had something to do with power, I don't think so, because the power supply that I had was a refurbished one that went through, the one that I'd recently purchased, well, a number of years ago. It should have been perfectly fine for running that extender plus the ZX Executor. So I think maybe my module is just having a generalized hiccup. It is the original Miles Gordon 256K upgrade, so maybe just one of the chips on there is acting a little weird or something. Anyway, work, successful. Now I can say I have a wonderful SAM Coupe desk area, and I can keep this connected 24/7, and at moment's notice, slap in a floppy, play a game. Hopefully everything else is working well, and I'll come back and make more videos. I want that ZX Executor to work because I'd like to explore playing my one and only cartridge that I own. What's that little... what's the little crazy Horus? I got the Horus one. That's it. But I've also got an empty cartridge from Colin that I could put games on, and I'll explore running ZX Spectrum programs on a SAM Coupe. That'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. So are you like me, needing a little bit more elbow room, own a SAM Coupe, still running that old legacy power supply? Well, there is a new way to do it. A lot smaller. It's not super cheap off the top of my head to ship it, to get it to the United States of America. What was it? $55 and then another 10 for the little upgrade. I forget, it was 50. I'd have to go back and look, but it came out to, I think, 60 some odd dollars. I'll have to go back and look. So not super cheap, but hopefully it gives me many years of service, and it works. And that's all I cared about. Plus, I'm helping support people that make things for the SAM Coupe. So thanks for watching the video. Bye.